Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. In the last episode, we sent our research station to Minmus and we also set up mining operations there. So let's get our station fully crewed and refueled. First, let's go to our science base. Get control back, send somebody to the command pod. And we have this contract here to send data from the surface of Minmus, so maybe if we just transmit this data, there we go. Contract complete. Okay. So now we want to get into orbit. And I'm not going to worry too much about matching the orbit of our station. I'm just going to get into A orbit. And I think I'll do it from here so that I can watch our APO here. Just get up to like, I don't know, 10,000? 9,000? I don't know. And then just burn towards the horizon. Or rather, let's warp to the APO and burn at the horizon. And just warp ahead a little bit. Time warp stopped, okay. Come on. There we go. And hopefully we'll have just enough fuel to circularize. We are quite low, as you can see. Almost out of fuel. But if we just burn towards the horizon here, maybe we can circularize. Come on. And just warp ahead a little more. And we can, there we go. So since we're about out of fuel here, I'm going to switch to the station and probably match orbits from the station side, even though it turns kind of slowly. Maybe we can get this a little more circular actually. I do like the higher altitude. Okay, so just get on our prograde again. And try and circularize. Good enough. Okay. So let's switch to our research station. And we also have this contract to send data from space around Minmus. So let's see if we have any data. We do. 130 here, 130 here, and 250 here. Well, contract complete. A bit more science for us as well. Just time warp through that. Okay. Very good. And we can quick save. So, we obviously want to set as target. And the first thing I think I'll do is match planes. So we want to go to either the ascending or descending node. I'm gonna go here because it's closer to the APO, which is most efficient. So we burn a little bit retrograde and a little bit to the side. And we just wait until these ascending and descending nodes start flipping around, and that's when we know we've matched planes. So as usual, we get on our target, warp to next maneuver, time warp to spin faster, and just do the burn. I'd like to have target following. I think maybe that's the next level. Maybe our pilot isn't quite advanced enough. Oop. So, time warp to next maneuver. I thought it would go faster than this, actually. We also have this contract to test nuclear engines. Where was that? So 200,000 to 210,000. We're going to try and do that when we pass through that altitude. But, you know, first let's do our inclination change here. You do want to be relatively precise, but 0.1 meters per second, that should be fine. Now then, we want to get an intercept with our target. What's our peri at? Actually, let's go ahead and do this contract, because we're passing through the right altitude. Just warp a little faster. The auto warp isn't going very fast for some reason. Yeah, that's just below 200. Unfortunately, this contract has a pretty narrow altitude range, so we have to be all careful. Well, keep warping. And just as soon as that hits 210, we'll stop the warp. And there we go. So now we can run a test on one of these engines. Okay, contract complete. Now then, we're going to want to get an intercept with our target vessel. Okay, and it looks like I got lucky and my first choice was pretty close. If we move this around, we can get it even closer here. 7.9 kilometers. 1.1 kilometers, 1.2. That should be pretty good. And we can do another burn to do fine adjustments if we have to. So as always, we get on our target and then we warp to next maneuver. And just warp here. We do want to be relatively precise with these intercepts. It does make things easier. Yeah, that's 3 minutes. Warp to next maneuver. That always brings you to 1 minute before the burn, which is actually a little too early. Let's go to like 20 seconds maybe. There we go. And just do the burn. Unfortunately, we can't turn very fast, so I don't want to try and track the target exactly. We can just do another adjustment burn if we have to. You can see 8.2 kilometers separation. What is this, 6 kilometers? Well, if we add another maneuver and we that's okay, that's a 200 meter separation with this burn of 1.5 meters per second. It's always better to do a second maneuver instead of trying to get your first one perfect, in my opinion. And just do real slow burn. Okay. And now it's 1.0 kilometers, but that's good enough, really. So we can quick save. And once we get here, we're going to want to burn retrograde relative to the target. Well, we can go ahead and start warping. And now our retrograde is going to be relatively close to what it will be at the intersect. So we just spin around to our retrograde, which is relative to our target. Here we go. And just warp here. Oh, we still have the physics time warp. There we go, warp here. So now we can start canceling out our velocity. This is 1 minute 4 seconds. Okay, and you can see our relative speed at the intersect is going down. And the separation is staying the same. But the separation is going up. Now maybe if we go on this side, it'll go down. There we go, it's going down now. 0.9 kilometers, 0.8, 0.7, 0.654. See, we want to get our retrograde right on the away from target marker. So we want to burn on the opposite side here, like this. Relative speed 9.8 meters per second. That's pretty good, but we can do better. 0.1 kilometers. Yeah. Okay, so that's good enough. And now we can just warp to about here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to EVA both of our pilots over to our vessel. What is the distance? 400 meters and falling. Okay, so switch to the science base. And we can see our station there in the distance, sort of. It's a little bit dark though, unfortunately. Let's just point towards our target, I guess. Oh no, that's not our target. We need to set as target. There we go. So if we get on our target node, we should be able to see the ship. And there it is. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can. And of course we can't use SAS. But let go and turn RCS on, and if we can set as target, yes, okay, there we go. And we want to right click and find our target node. We want to burn retrograde basically. There, oh. And now we're headed directly away from the target. Come on. Where's our prograde? There we go. Let's go up, and we want to get our prograde matching with our target vector here. Please slow down. Oh dear. I should probably have retracted these solar panels. Hopefully I don't hit one. Are we out of, oh, okay. Yeah. You have to use control and shift here. Since it's, like, below us, we can't use forward and back. Come on. I can't even tell. There we go. Well, how far away is that? Well, we're getting closer. We can go ahead and EVA our other scientist here. Get them going too. If we can manage to select the right thing as the target. Which I don't know if we can. It's all too close. Well, whatever. Let's just switch back here. Just switch back here. And we're still headed towards our target. We can go a little bit faster. Not as fast as we were going before, but a little bit faster. So shift to go up slows us down. If we want to go shift and back as we come in for boarding here. Solar panels are still intact. And we want to aim for a research lab hatch. Maybe this center research lab here. I really should retract the solar panels. Okay, so here's our hatch. Get in there. And board. Okay. One down, one to go. Switch to Bob Kerman. You know what? Turn your RCS on. Maybe we can grab the data from this thing. Can we grab data? Take data. There we go. Now we want to set target and find that and just burn towards this. Actually burn on our retrograde and then burn towards the target. There we go. Now we're headed towards it at 9.4 meters per second. So, you know, we can just time warp ahead a little bit. Up to like 30 seconds. There we go. And we're coming in right here. Once again, I do recommend retracting your solar panels before attempting any kind of docking or boarding maneuvers. It's just a good idea. And I don't remember which lab is full. I think we want to get in the back lab, maybe. Maybe this one here. Oop. And easy does it. And board. Okay, our base is now fully crewed. You can see 2 scientists here. 11 science a day, 11 science a day, 11 science a day. And I wonder if we can level up anybody. No, I guess not. But that's fine. So now that's done and we have all our solar panels, so we quick save. Next up is going to be... we don't need that anymore. Next up is going to be getting our mining base up. So let's switch to our miner. And we may need to time warp so we have comlink access. No, we do. Okay, that's good. How's our fuel looking? Once again, I time warped ahead about 25 days since the end of the last episode. And this should be plenty of fuel. I actually have a seismometer on here somewhere, I think. I can't see it too well. I guess I could turn up the brightness. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just transmit data. Is our electric charge. Okay, and we want to Stop the harvesters and retract the drills, of course. And we can... Do we still have ore? Yes, we do have ore, actually. I've never used jettison tank contents. But ore is quite heavy, so I will. It doesn't appear to, like, pop out or anything. Just retract everything, too. Sorry it's so dark. Maybe I should go to settings, like, light count 8. Is that any better? Ambient light boost. Oh, that's very bright now. In fact, that's too bright, I think. Let's go like that. Yeah, that's okay. The orange tanks are a little garish now, but oh well. So we just burn on 90 degrees here, as usual. Get our apple up to, you know, roughly 10,000. Oh, that is too high, actually. That is already too high. I forgot that this thing has a little more thrust. That's okay, though. Oh, and we're basically on the pole here. So, well, I'm just gonna get into a polar orbit, I guess, and then do a plane change. This probably isn't the most efficient approach, but, well, doesn't matter that much. Guess I could burn somewhere else. Let's just do this. Get on the target and warp to next maneuver. And just do our 75 meter per second burn here. There we go. And next we want to set our research base as the target, of course. Set as target. And we want to go to our descending node here. Make sure you're orbiting in the right direction, of course. Yes. So we want to go retrograde, and we want to go this way, I believe. Wonder if we can get an intercept while we do this. Probably not. Probably not the best idea to even try, honestly. But, you know. So we just wait until the ascending and descending nodes start rotating. And there we go. So there's our maneuver. As always, we just get on the target and warp to it. Quite fast. I might switch to the station and actually retract all the panels this time. Okay. And there we go. Good enough. Just quick save and switch to the station, and I'm gonna retract all the panels. Retract. all of these. And let's stop research just to make sure we don't run out of charge. Because that's why we have the solar panels, is to run these labs. Okay. So now we just switch back to our miner, if I can find that. Here we go. And set up our encounter maneuver. It's a little bit easier when you have a circular orbit. It does make things a bit easier. Alright, you want to make a maneuver node probably ahead of yourself instead of behind. Oh, control is locked? Oh, okay, we're on the far side of Minmus. Well, let's just warp until we have control again, obviously. There we go, there we go. Yeah. So if we move this around, we can adjust our encounters a little bit. Now we need to burn more retrograde. What is this, 8 kilometers? That's not bad, actually. 7, 6. That's going up. There we go. 6.1. Maybe up a little bit. Yeah, it's going down. 5 kilometers. Oh, okay. I guess. Node in 2 hours. Sure. Let's just warp here. And we'll have plenty of time to get on our target, I think. Come on. Just spin on there. Okay, here we go. Nope. I may have overshot it a little bit. That's what happens when you try and time warp. But, instead of chasing 0.2 meters per second, it's always better to set up a new node. 5.4 kilometers, 5.2. I'm not sure what I need to do to bring this down, actually. So that's okay. That's 5.1. There we go. 3.0, 2.6, 2.5, 1.1, 0.8. Our parry's getting a little low. I think that's fine though. Okay. 1.1 kilometers. I'm going to go with this maneuver node here. And just warp for now. Get on our next maneuver. Oh. Okay. 1.7 kilometers. Close enough, honestly. Let's try and match orbits a little bit. No, we should just burn retrograde instead of worrying about a maneuver node there. Set as target and just warp here, and we'll burn on our target's retrograde. Once we disable the hard time warp, of course. So we want to start matching velocities So we get on the retrograde. And just start burning until this target velocity goes down, and I'm burning a little bit off the retrograde to try and push it onto the away from target marker here. You can see 0.4 kilometer separation. Okay, we need to warp ahead a little bit, I guess. There we go. Well, our lowest separation isn't actually going down at this point, but oh well. Now we want to just burn towards the target directly since our relative speed is quite low. But you don't want to go too fast. It's one of those times where time warping is better than going fast, really. 0.4 kilometers. And we can go like 10 meters per second, maybe. Okay, 100 meter closest intercept. Very low relative speed, except for us getting closer. Oh, and we can already see it in the distance there. So we're just coming around. And I guess I'll burn retrograde again. Something like this. And something like that. And I'm gonna quick save, and we have actually collided with it, but that's okay because we retracted all our solar panels, so nothing broke. Maybe you shouldn't quick save like immediately before you collide. That might not be the best idea, but oh well. We do have RCS here. Just want to come in nice and slow. Oh, it's backwards again. It's backwards again. It's always very annoying when your RC. Oh, okay. That's... Yes, I'm not the best at docking, I'll admit. I was a little bit closer than I realized. I guess probably a good idea to just rotate the camera around while you're docking. So just go up a little bit and then stop going up. Once again, all of the controls are reversed right now. I might be able to fix that by spinning around. Oh, okay, we've docked. Very good, very good. All is well. Just checking the solar panels here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. A little bit wobbly, but everything is fine. And if we check our contracts, our station contract is complete because altogether we have over 4,000 fuel. Yep. All the solar panels, all the radiators, everything is good. So we just need to transfer the fuel. Unfortunately, there are a bunch of tanks that need to be filled. But our fuel tanker has a small number of tanks, which is very nice. So, just set the transfer and time warp. Unfortunately, you can't start a transfer while time warping. So you need to stop your time warp every time. Yeah, that doesn't work, see? So you have to start it, then just time warp. And so these are all full. These are partly full. And this one. And then there are 3 more on this side. Yeah, it's unfortunate that there aren't more options for liquid fuel tanks. There are the Mark III fuselages. Those are quite large. They are a little bit heavier than these tanks in terms of dry mass, but perhaps the bigger problem is that they're very high up on the tech tree. And also, another problem is that they're non-standard size, so you need adapters or you get more drag, or, well, I mean, you don't have to worry about it too much, but I guess the biggest issue is the fact that they need a lot of research, a lot of science to unlock them. Maybe there should be just a, universal refuel command. That would require a way to distinguish this as, 2 separate craft that are docked instead of a single craft. Which I guess is not currently supported by the way they do things. And then I think there's this one. Okay, yeah, this one. And this should be the last set. What happened there? Oh, we're out of liquid fuel in that tank. Okay. Well, just, we filled up on oxidizers, so that's fine. Just switch to the central tank, I guess. Pin that. And in. And, okay, you can only do... you can only go in one at once, so... yeah, this is... You can't transfer to multiple at the same time, unfortunately. And I think that's all of them. Guess I'll just do a quick check here. 1, 2, 3. And all of those. And all of those. And all of these. Okay. Well, we can just quick save now. And I guess we can undock. Okay. A successful crew transfer and successful refueling. Alright. I guess that's enough for this episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, where we'll be going to Duna.